So my name is Priya Lokhandwala, and you and me together are going to figure out the true value of X today. And I've specifically asked for no presentation to be shown because I would like to tickle your brain with a little imagination. So I hope you're all ready for the ride. And don't worry, by X, I don't mean your X. I mean X, as in the mathematical variable. I know it sounds absurd, but why would somebody talk about algebra on a TEDx platform? And especially somebody like me, who spent most of her schooling years dreading math. I still remember the very first time my maths teacher, Mr. Ishwar, came to the classroom and wrote on the blackboard, 2x plus 5 equals 15. Find the value of x. I froze, staring at the board, thinking, first numbers and now letters? Wasn't math hard enough already? And why in this world did everybody decide to keep this mysterious letter X as the unknown? Why not any other letter like P, N, or V? And it turns out, like most things in our world, it started with somebody's personal preference. The famous mathematician René Descartes was the first to use X as shorthand. But the origins run deeper. The letter X comes from the Greek letter G or chi, which means energy, and from the Arabic word shay, which represents the unknown. And this little piece of information sounded fascinating to me as a person who works in this very X space. I call this X space the field of spiritual intelligence. Why? Because everything in this universe has intelligence. Its capacity to hold and express it varies. And spiritual because it's beyond what we can fully perceive and see with our five senses. And yet, it quietly shapes everything that we do. Now, to understand this further, we all know that we as humans can hear in a certain decibel range, and we can see in a spectrum of 7 colors. But dogs can hear better than us, eagles have better vision, and honeybees are better at decision making than humans. All beings express their intelligence differently. Have you ever thought that we come into this world as this bundled, undefined energy packed with potential? We are the variable X, and we spend all our lives establishing our value. Even from the beginning of time, we as X are this variable energy continuously splitting ourselves into fractal versions of ourselves. And we get this blueprint from cellular biology. We know that for cells to grow, cells are these circles, right? And for them to grow, they need to merge and divide. And when they do this, they form an X at the intersection. Creation at its smallest scale. Life begins in these intersections. Like ideas, people, or even communities, alone, we are these circles. But when we intersect, ideas spark, love grows, and change happens. Without these intersections, nobody in the Americas would be eating bananas, and we here wouldn't be speaking in English. All right? But think about this. What if, maybe, and just maybe, these circles aren't even circles? They're mere reflections of spheres on a 2D plane. a flat plane. And because we are byproducts or products of this very intersection, our perception is limited to the X that we see. Isn't that what human intelligence feels like? A hint of the infinite? Even before we are born, there are many things that are pre-assigned to us. We'll get there. But know that even in quantum physics, in biogeometry, or in many religious texts across the world, that is what we are defined as. We are defined as the reflections of this one power. And before we are born, we are assigned all of these values, like what is our name going to be, what is our skin color, our hair texture, the language that we are going to speak, the community that we are going to be born in. And all of these safety structures are built to make us feel safe. Yes, but they also quietly shape our belief system. And our identities are a result of these beliefs that we carry. What you feel is right, wrong, what you like, dislike, what you agree with, disagree with. And even your life choices are not mere coincidences or circumstantial. They come from these very deeply ingrained beliefs and values. So now, if our identities come because of our values, and our values are nothing but our beliefs that are absorbed from our environment, do you still have to wonder why you feel unsatisfied, unworthy, or unhappy in life? It is because you've used 0% of your creative capacity to author yourself. And you've let others decide, like your family, your friends, the community, the society, the culture, decide your value. Instead of being heroes of our own life story, we end up becoming victims of life itself. Now, I'm not here to create panic or guilt trip you. Instead, I'm here to give you a cheat code. A cheat code that can help you reclaim your X and also find your true value. And this code is knowing your homeostasis, your most natural way of being. Homeostasis is balance, physical, mental, and emotional. Homeostasis is your inner thermostat of being. Think about it like your holiday version. How you behave on your holidays? You do what you love to do in places that make you feel joyful, calm, and most alive. Now, think about living your life every single day as this holiday version. Now I know what you're thinking. But we have to work, study, make money, pay bills, do the dance. But who said you can't do all of this being the holiday version of you? I mean, Gen Z is already doing that, thanks to all the technology that we've built for them. And the research in longevity shows that people who live happy and long lives have a sense of belonging in them. But if you don't know who you truly are, how are you going to figure out where you belong? And let me tell you, a lot of people struggle to answer this very question despite all the titles that they hold, despite all the rewards, and despite all the money in their bank account. Luckily, there are many techniques that can help you answer this big question, like mirror work, journaling, creative collaborations, breath work, and old school travel. Not the new ones like you check in and you just do all the touristy things. Old school like you backpack and meet the people of the culture, eat the food of the culture. And when you inculcate these techniques as habits in your daily life, they help you unlock level 1 of the 4 levels of finding your true value. This is called as self-awareness. Now, level 2 is self-realization. And to understand this level, I want you all to think about rooms. There are rooms in which you're the smartest, funniest, richest, strongest, and your value feels 10x. And in other rooms where you're not, you tend to shrink within and feel smaller. But the key is in understanding neither one is better than the other. In one, you feel valued, and in others, you have space to grow. Knowing your homeostasis can help you, give you the power to choose which rooms to enter and which rooms to exit. In which rooms you can expand, inhabit, shine, or conserve. This way, your life becomes playful instead of a struggle, and navigating life with clarity becomes easier. Just like when I wanted to lose weight postpartum after my child, I joined a competition completely based on vanity. And the motivation to lose weight and win made me lose about 30 kgs. And also enjoy other perks that came with vanity. When it stopped being fun, I exited that room. But self-realization can only and only come through experimentation. So have varied experiences in life and enter as many rooms as possible. Now, level 3 and level 4 are integration and reflection. If you stop at level 2, there are chances that you might become flaky and end up jumping from one room to the other for your entire life. Now, don't get me wrong. Even reaching level 2 is an achievement in itself. Your perspective shifts. You have inner wisdom. You feel like you have a sense of belongingness, worthiness within and on earth. But even with this, you might struggle in the outer world because you've not integrated this realization in your daily life. So get this. Awareness is knowing that I can be the ocean. Realization is knowing I am the ocean. And integration is allowing the ocean to flow in your daily life. Integration is walking the talk and living with the realization, through the realization, every single day. And finally, level 4, self-reflection. It is knowing what impact do you have on others and your footprint in this life of being the ocean. With level 3, which is integration, you've already unlocked the flow state. At level 4, you pause and reflect. You have an observer's perspective towards your thoughts and emotions. You see how often do you enter and exit your homeostasis state. You notice what are those moments in which you feel truly happy, truly peaceful, and fully alive. You also notice the recurring patterns in your life, relationships, emotions, and challenges. And ask yourself, what is that lesson that I need to learn in order to exit this spiral? And once you get that awareness, acknowledge your upgraded version. And be in gratitude of your older versions. Don't hold any grudges or resentment towards them. And then ask yourself, what part of me is now ready to expand further? Knowing these 4 levels and integrating them in your life can bring you profound bliss and just being you truly joyful. Navigating through these 4 levels is how you figure out your true value in life. Because as X, we are not here to be solved or proven. We are here to multiply. So multiply your energy, multiply your kindness, multiply your courage, and multiply your love. Because without your X, the human equation is incomplete. Thank you so much.